Hi, hello, my dear students. This is your Prasanna Harikrishna sir, Assistant Professor of Botany, SRR Government Arts and Science College, Karimnagar. So today we are going to see about C4 plants. Already we have gone through C3 plants and C3 cycle. So in this session we are going to see about C4 plants, then followed by C4 cycle. Okay. So what are C4 plants basically? Remember, so C stands for carbon. Okay, C stands for carbon. The first stable compound in C4 cycle will be 4 carbon compounds. Hence, these plants are called as C4 plants. Okay, so what is that 4 carbon compound? Generally, that is OAA. Okay, so oxaloacetic acid. So OAA, oxaloacetic acid, is basically a 4 carbon compound. This is formed as a first stable compound in C4 cycle. So the plants which are showing C4 cycle, C4 cycle are called as C4 plants. Okay. So on the planet Earth we have 11 families of C4 plants and 19 genera. Remember, so 19 genera, 11 families and 90 species. Okay, the entire population of C4 category of plants will be 11 families, 19 genera and 90 species. Okay, so most of the plants are tropical plants. They are all the tropical and subtropical plants. Okay, so most of the C4 plants are tropical and subtropical plants. Tropical and subtropical means what? For example, you can say tropical nothing but what? The area, the region or the geographical area, or you can say the location which has highest temperatures or warm climatic condition is seen in this particular tropical areas. Okay, for example, with respect to India, southern part of India falls under the tropical region or tropical zone. So generally, when compared to northern part of India, the temperature is more in southern part of India. So the southern part of India falls under tropical category. Okay, subtropical category nothing but here also the temperature is more. Okay, when compared to tropical, there is less amount of temperature is seen in the subtropical area or subtropical geographical location. Okay, so these C4 plants are grown in tropical as well as the subtropical areas or geographical locations. Clear? Then these example for this particular plants are mostly dicots. So mostly dicots and monocots. So mostly dicots and monocots. So when compared to, if you compare between these dicots and monocots, the percentage of C4 plants when compared to dicots is more. So monocotyledon C4 plants are more when compared to dicotyledon plants. I will say some examples for monocotyledon plants which are showing C4 cycle. Clear? So remember, Gramineae. The best example is Gramineae family. There is an alternative name according to ICBN rules. You can say International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. So according to ICBN rules, the family should end with AC. But you cannot identify AC in Gramineae. So it ends with Ne. Okay. So according to ICBN rules, the family should end with AC. Hence, the Gramineae is also called as Poaceae. Okay. The Gramineae is also called as Poaceae. Generally, it includes Gramineae or Poaceae family includes all the grasses. Or you can say, maize is an example, bajra is an example, sugarcane is an example. Okay, so all the grasses are included in Gramineae or Poaceae family. Right. So I will tell you another example for monocotyledons, that is Cyperaceae. Okay, Cyperaceae. The best example for Cyperaceae family is Cyperus rotundus. Cyperus rotundus is an example for Cyperaceae family. So bajra, sugarcane, etc. are the examples for Graminae family. So these two families are the very good examples for monocotyledons which are showing C4 cycle or called as C4 plants. Clear? Then come to dicotyledons. The example for dicotyledons are Zygophyllaceae. Okay, the best example is Zygophyllaceae. Clear? Then another example, Chenopodiaceae. Chenopodiaceae. Then Portulacaceae. Portulacaceae. Okay, so Zygophyllaceae, Chenopodiaceae, Portulacaceae, etc. Okay, so these are the examples of plants which are included in dicotyledon category. So these plants are called as C4 plants. Okay, they fall under monocots. They are showing C4 cycle, hence they are C4 plants. So these are dicotyledon plants which are showing C4 cycle, hence they are called as C4 plants. Clear? So this is about basic or introductory session of C4 plants. With respect to India, these dicotyledon plants, dicotyledon C4 plants are example for C4 category. So in this all these family members, so our scientist V.S. Ramdas, you might have heard the name V.S. Ramdas, who worked as a professor in Sri Venkateshwara University, Andhra Pradesh. So this particular person, V.S. Ramdas, had contributed a lot in the field of C4 plants with respect to Zygophyllaceae, Chenopodiaceae and Portulacaceae. Hence, remember, V.S. Ramdas is regarded as the father of plant physiology in India. Remember, father of plant physiology in India. So plant physiology nothing but what? So plant physiology is a kind of branch which deals with all the metabolic activities, all the physiological activities which are being taken place in the plants. Clear? So if you say animal physiology deals with all the metabolic or physiological activities which are being conducted in the animal category. Clear? So V.S. Ramdas was a man who contributed a lot in the field of plant physiology with respect to C4 cycle in India. Hence, he is called as father of plant physiology in India. So if you remember, I will tell you another important point, that is Stephen Hales. Stephen Hales. So Stephen Hales was a man who contributed in plant physiology across the world. Hence, he is called as father of plant physiology in world. So father of plant physiology in the world is Stephen Hales. Father of plant physiology in India is V.S. Ramdas. Okay. So now we are going to see the structural difference between C3 and C4 plants. The major structural difference between C3 and C4 plants is the chloroplast dimorphism. Remember, chloroplast dimorphism. So chloroplast dimorphism is the peculiar and specific characteristic feature of C4 plants. What is meant by chloroplast dimorphism? Remember, di always indicates two. Morpha indicates external characteristic features, okay, or physiological characteristic features. So the chloroplasts of C4 plants show two different variations, two different structures. Hence, the concept is called as chloroplast dimorphism. So di nothing but two, morphological means differences, means there are two kinds of chloroplasts in C4 plants. For example, if you take an example or if you take a diagrammatic representation of C4 leaf, for example, this is a C4 leaf. Okay, on the upper side and lower side you can have the epidermis. This is upper epidermis, and on the lower side you can have the lower epidermis. Okay, so below the upper epidermis there is a cylindrical tissue that is called as what? Palisade tissue. Okay, in the middle of the leaf there is vascular bundle. Vascular bundle represents xylem and phloem. Then there is another tissue in the middle of the C4 leaf, or you can say C3 leaf. So this is what? Mesophyll. Okay, this is what? Mesophyll. Okay, then this is what? Vascular bundle. Around the vascular bundle, these are the cells which are very important. So these are the cells, so which are there around the vascular bundle. So it looks like a garland. These cells surrounds the vascular bundle. So the entire cells look like garland. Hence, this particular garland structure is called as Kranz anatomy. Kranz anatomy. So Kranz is basically a German word which means garland. Remember, the word Kranz anatomy was first used by Heberland. Okay, so Heberland was a man who identified these garland structure around the vascular bundles of C4 plants. This particular vascular bundle shaped structure of cells are generally termed as Kranz anatomy. Okay, so this particular Kranz anatomy is only seen in the C4 plants. It does not present in the C3 plants. Okay, that is a major difference between C3 and C4 category. Right, so remember, this is what? This is garland, Kranz cell, or you can say bundle sheath cell. This is also called as what? Bundle sheath. Okay, so bundle sheath looks like garland, hence it is called as Kranz anatomy. So this is bundle sheaths. These are all the bundle sheath cells. This is what? Mesophyll cell. Okay, so this is Palisade parenchyma. This is another parenchyma which is there in between both the epidermis and hypodermis. Clear? So this is the mesophyll cell. This is what? The bundle sheath cell. Okay, so if you see the structure of, for example, this is what? Mesophyll cell. This is the chloroplast which is present inside the mesophyll cell. This is what? A bundle sheath cell. So these are the chloroplasts of bundle sheath cell. So diagrammatically, if you look at these two structures, these chloroplasts are very smaller in size when compared to these chloroplasts. Okay, so and this particular chloroplast is completely different from this particular chloroplast. Means in a single plant we have both the types of chloroplasts. Okay, so two kinds of chloroplasts are present inside the C4 plants, that is particularly a leaf structure. Okay, hence this kind of phenomenon can be called as chloroplast dimorphism. Chloroplast dimorphism. Then we will see the major differences between the chloroplast of major difference between the mesophyll cell and the bundle sheath cell. Just have a look. This is mesophyll cell. This is bundle sheath cell. Okay, so mesophyll and bundle sheath cell. Just have a look. The chloroplast is small in shape. Chloroplast is small in shape, whereas in bundle sheath cell the chloroplast size is large. Okay, it is in bigger size. Then this chloroplast, these particular chloroplast in mesophyll cell. In mesophyll cell, chloroplasts are containing, grana. Okay, so these bundle sheath cells do not have any grana. So light phase takes place in mesophyll cell, whereas dark phase takes place in bundle sheath cells. Okay, if there is a grana, there is a choice of grana acts as a site for first phase of photosynthesis, that is light phase. If there is no grana, then it will be comfortable with the another or second stage of photosynthetic mechanism, that is dark phase. Okay, then this particular mesophyll cells are having pepcase. So mesophyll cells are having pepcase, an enzyme. So pep indicates what? Pyruvic enol phosphate. So pyruvic enol phosphate, you can say. So phosphopyruvate, or so this is an enzyme. Pepcase is an enzyme which is present inside the mesophyll cell, whereas bundle sheath cells, there is an enzyme called Rubisco. Okay, so Rubisco is located inside the bundle sheath cell. Clear? Remember, so when there is a Rubisco, there is a choice of C3 cycle. Okay, C3 cycle. Remember, so in mesophyll cell, C4 cycle takes place. In bundle sheath cell, C4 cycle, C3 cycle takes place. C3 as well, C4 cycle. Okay, so then in mesophyll cell, remember, so in mesophyll cells, these particular mesophyll cells are very they are far away from the vascular bundles. So far away from the vascular bundles. So these bundle sheath cells are associated with vascular bundles. Okay, associated with vascular bundles, and CO2 fixation takes place in mesophyll cell. So CO2, whenever the CO2 enters inside the leaf, that is fixed by the pepcase in the mesophyll cells. But in bundle sheath cell, CO2 assimilation takes place inside the bundle sheath cells. And in mesophyll cells, remember, O2 is liberated. There is no choice of O2 liberation in bundle sheath cells. O2 is liberated because of non-cyclic photophosphorylation is there now. Non-cyclic photophosphorylation takes place in the thylakoids. Thylakoids are present in the grana. So grana is there in the mesophyll cells, hence oxygen is liberated. There is no grana in the bundle sheath cells, hence there is no liberation of oxygen. Okay, then assimilatory power. So assimilatory power, what is meant by assimilatory power? Remember, NADPH and ATP. So these two compounds, NADPH and ATP, adenosine triphosphate, these two compounds are called as assimilatory power. So assimilatory power is generated inside the mesophyll cells, then assimilatory power is utilized in bundle sheath cells. Okay, so assimilatory power, that is NADPH and ATP, both are utilized in bundle sheath cell, both are formed in mesophyll cell. Okay, so this is about the major difference between mesophyll and the bundle sheath cells. Remember, so these two kinds of chloroplasts and two kinds of cells are appear in C4 cycle, hence the CO2 is fixed in mesophyll cells during the daytime. CO2 assimilated, CO2 involves in the carbohydrate generation in the night time in bundle sheath cell. Means CO2 fixation and CO2 carbohydrate generation takes place in different times. So this particular mechanism can be called as temporal separation, or you can say spatial separation, not temporal separation. This is spatial separation. Spatial separation means what? This is a space. This is what? Mesophyll cell. This is bundle sheath cell. Inside the mesophyll cell, CO2 fixation takes place. Inside the bundle sheath cell, there is a formation of carbohydrate. Okay, spatial separation. Okay, fixation takes place in one place and carbohydrate formation takes place in another place. Clear? So this can be called as spatial separation, or you can say division of labor. What is that? Division of labor. Okay, so temporal separation or division of labor. Clear? So this is about complete information, complete background or complete description of C4 plants. So in next session we will see how the C4 cycle takes place in C4 plants. Okay, so thank you my dear students. In next class we will discuss in detail about C4 cycle. Thank you.